Well, looks like it's time to start our board hearing. This is Wednesday, January 26th, 2022, and it's the Board of Oil, Gas, and Mining hearing for the month of January. And we'll have a briefing session, and then shortly thereafter, after the briefing session is concluded, we will hear the one docketed item, UINTA Wax Operating LLC. The other issues that may have been scheduled for this month have been continued until at least February. So with that, I will turn the time over to Director John Baza.
Thank you, Chairman Hanson. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Again, this is John Baza. I'm the Director for the Division of Oil, Gas, and Mining. And we welcome members of the board to their monthly board meeting in January. And I know the anchor location is here in the DNR building. I am chiming in from my office electronically. So hopefully we'll have good participation from all the virtual attendees today. The biggest thing on their agenda, we purposefully minimized our briefing agenda because we thought there was going to be a fairly lengthy board meeting, so we were trying to keep it short. But we're happy to cover any items that the board members want to raise with us at this time. But the hottest topic we're dealing with right now is the legislature, which started its general session last Tuesday on the 18th. And hopefully you've received Natasha Baleff's email as of last Friday. She's our legislative liaison, and she'll keep you updated weekly on the status of the various bills we're following. But to kind of introduce what we're dealing with at the legislative session this year, I've asked Natasha if she would check in and provide you with that briefing this morning. So Natasha, are you ready to go?
I am. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Well, as John said, I'm Natasha Baleff. I'm the Legislative and Policy Coordinator for the division. The general session started on Tuesday and it ends on March 4th. So far, the division is watching a few bills, and we're going to keep an eye on the ones that are coming out. The biggest one is SB 97, and it's sponsored by Senator Winterton, and it addresses the definition of solid and hazardous waste. This bill is kind of a fix-it bill to one from 2019 that moved EMP waste disposal sites under waste management and radiation control. And this bill will remove the requirement for those facilities to obtain a gubernatorial and a legislative approval from the permitting process. This bill has moved pretty quickly within the first week. It's been heard on the Senate floor as well as the Senate Government Operations Committee, where it was passed unanimously with a favorable recommendation, and it's currently back on their second reading calendar. Another bill that we're waiting for is a carbon sequestration bill that is sponsored by Representative Handy. The division has provided comments on the draft language, and we're just waiting for the bill to be filed. There's also a Senate concurrent resolution from Senator Hinkins that highlights Utah's rare earth minerals, and it encourages cooperation between state and federal stakeholders so that we can take full advantage of the essential critical minerals and rare earth elements found in Utah. And those are kind of the big ones that we're following right now. As John said earlier, I will be sending a weekly email update. My plan is doing that Friday mornings, just to keep everyone in the loop. And if you guys have any questions at any time, feel free to reach out. And unless you have questions for me now, I'll turn the time back over to Director Baza.
Thanks, Natasha. I thought maybe just to finish out the topic, I would mention to the board that we have requested certain budgetary increases that went through the governor's process. There are two specific requests, or what are called building blocks, that we've asked for. One involves increasing our appropriation in order to hire an additional attorney to advise the division. And that is supported by GOPV and the governor's office. The second one that we'll be asking for is additional appropriation for both data enhancements and staffing increases in the oil and gas program. Again, the governor's office supported both of those requests, and we'll be giving our presentation to the Sub-Appropriations Committee on February 3rd. So for those of you who want to or are interested in checking in online, you can go to the legislative website and listen to those presentations as they're being given. But ours is scheduled for the morning of February 3rd, and that again would be the Natural Resources, Ag, Environmental Quality, and Natural Resources Sub-Appropriations Committee. I think that's all we had to do in terms of our legislative update. Are there any questions from board members regarding what's going on this year?
Yeah.
Sure, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, John, I have one easy question, I think, but on the summaries that that Natasha provides us on Friday mornings, there are probably people at the university that would be interested in those. Are these summaries something I can share with other parties?
There's certainly nothing that we're hiding, and in full transparency, it's probably a public record. So yeah, feel free to share with whoever you want to.
Any other board members have questions for Director Baza or Natasha on what she presented? I just have one, Director Baza. The staffing increases you're talking about for oil and gas, is that just bringing you back up to your level of staffing that you had previously, or are these new positions?
No, they're not new positions, but they are bringing us back to that previous level of staffing. I think you realize that over the years, some of that has been chipped away here and there as we've gone through the budgetary process. So all we're asking for really is to return us back to the level that we were about 5 years ago.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Well, thank you. I think the fact that it's in the governor's proposed budget is a big boon to our effort.
Yes. Yes.
We don't have anything specifically on the agenda to cover as briefing. Again, as we indicated, we were hoping to keep this short. But I would mention that we've raised the concept to some key board members in the last month or so, but we are very interested in recommencing our field visits with the board. Now, we recognize that things like coronavirus may get in the way of those plans, but I think what we're hoping for is to do possibly a UINTA Basin field trip in the spring. Likely April, but it could get pushed to May due to unforeseen circumstances. But I'll be working with Bart Kettle and Ricky Renko-Browning of the Utah Petroleum Association and arrange for a tour that will highlight some interesting things going on out in the basin. So hopefully we can get all that set up, and we'll pass more information on to you in upcoming board meetings as we develop the agenda for that. Any questions on that?
Oh, I don't think so, unless other board members have any questions. I'm excited to get back out in the field again, so that'll be great.
Yeah, so are we, and it's been a rough couple of years, but I think we're slowly returning to some normal operations in terms of what we're doing, and I think that returning to some field visits will be very helpful to the board. I think that, Mr. Chairman, that really is it for now. I'm happy to entertain any questions, and otherwise we can give the board some time back and we can get started with your formal matters as soon as you see fit.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the information. And we do have on the list next month's agenda. Is there anything there we need to discuss?
Well, we do know that the tree farm matter is continued to the February agenda. The Alton coal matter was actually withdrawn. I think that there are some things that they're working through in terms of compliance with the division, but that one could come back, but not likely in February. It all kind of depends on the progress that we make with Alton. But I'm not aware of anything specific that we need to raise for the February agenda, other than the tree farm is continued to the February agenda.
Okay, thank you. Well, at this point, I'd like to give the public an opportunity to make any comment on issues relative to our hearing today. If there's anybody out in the public that is on this meeting would like to make a comment, please let us know. Seeing none, we will conclude this briefing session. And I would think, let's take just a few minutes. Okay. Why don't we start our hearing session at 9:20, 9:30? What do you think works best? 9:20? All right, we'll be back at 9:20. Thank you.